Everyone, I'm Dr. Ennis, and I just wanted to take a little time to introduce myself because I know that the transition is coming starting Monday from the JCPS Google Classroom to the Blackboard realm, which is where you will officially start your 12-week venture into an English 101 class for college credit. So I wanted to just take some time to say hello, but also to show you, more importantly, how you navigate this thing. So I do not have control over your logins. I really hope somebody is giving them to you, but whenever you get that, you will have access to your course on Blackboard. And it operates much like a Google Classroom or any other learning management system in that you log in, you see a list of your courses, and you choose the course that is ours. So I'm going to use this one as an example. Yours may look a little bit different, but it's going to be very, very similar. So when you click on the class, it takes you to the home page. This really doesn't have anything that you need to worry too much about except for just a dashboard of upcoming things. Mine looks a little different because I'm an instructor, but we can also look at it from a student perspective just so that you can see what your screen exactly will look like. So when you click on that, really, again, nothing that you need to really worry about other than just a snapshot of what's going on. But when you click announcements, this is the first thing on the list under the home page because it's the first place you should always go. I will post an announcement at least once a week that gives you specific guidelines, almost like a checklist, that you could go through one by one and decide what it is that you need to do for that week. That's also going to be under the tentative course calendar, but I want you to have in one spot what you need to do step by step. I can provide a separate document that's a checklist, but certainly you can make your own as well. So we have this announcement for the first week that you are going to be on Blackboard, even though it's not the first week of school for you. So this week, for example, it says to click on the syllabus and review it. You may have already done this, but some of you are starting with me for the first time after being with Dr. Young and your JCPS teacher. So I want to make sure you know where my syllabus is, and it is here. Then I do want you to look at it again, even if you have looked at it before, because you need to think about it a little differently. You're going to be asynchronous with me, which means unless I decide to jump on your Google Meet or your Microsoft Teams meeting that you have during NTI with your JCPS teacher, you will not see me live at all. An asynchronous online course means that you are responsible for logging in, completing the work every week, and then checking for feedback before you move on to the next thing. So it's a lot of responsibility, which is why dual credit is so great, because you have not only the college instructor to assess your work and give you feedback on that side, but you also have your JCPS teacher to act as a mentor, who I will be adding to the course so they can see everything as well. So we have a tab here for Blackboard help, and this is like general Blackboard help, meaning like how to use Blackboard. I don't find it particularly helpful just because it's got so many topics, but you might need it, so I put it there. It's up to you. I'm happy to answer questions about where to put things and how things work in the first couple of weeks, but you should have it down by then. You can imagine the number of emails I get about things like that. So we'll try to keep that down, but I think after the couple first weeks, you'll be just fine. The tentative course calendar is where you're going for all the schedule, right? So you, again, remember your course calendar may look just a little bit different, but in general, you will go here to find out, okay, what week is it? Well, it's technically week 4 of this course, and that means that here are the dates. Here's what you have to work on. And then here's what you have to do. So where are you putting it? What does it actually do? When is it due? And where does it go on Blackboard? So you look at the dates, figure out what you have to read or study or complete, and then you go over here to actually find out where it is that you're going to turn it in and by what time. Now, I will say that all assignments are due on Friday at 11:59 p.m., which is pretty consistent with JCPS, except for there are some marked for Sunday completion. Like if you have to post to the discussion board, but then you have to respond to a peer, it's probably going to have 2 due dates. So then we have the discussion board. So if I put DB, whoops, sorry, I clicked too fast. Oh my goodness, I'm going all over the place. Sorry, guys. So when I go to the calendar and I see there's a little key at the top, but if I see DB, that means discussion board. So on the discussion board, for example, you have some things posted that will be the ones that you're working on in the next couple of weeks. So when you go to that, you will click it, look at the instructions, which would be up here if you had any specific instructions, and you just create a thread in order to do whatever it is you're doing. If you're submitting a file, you attach it. It needs to be a Word document or a PDF so that everyone can read it. And then also you will hit submit. So this is pretty straightforward when it comes to discussion. If you have to do a review of somebody's, I will have very, very specific things you need to do. You must read all of these directions, because if you don't, I'll send it right back to you with a 0 on it and say you need to redo this, please. Speaking of that, I'm not a person who doesn't give second and third chances. I understand this is most of your first chance at a college class. But I'll tell you once, and then I'll expect you to know. So, for example, if you accidentally do something wrong or you make a mistake, I'll send it back with a 0, and I'll say, hey, you need to do blah, blah, blah. Whatever that blah, blah, blah is, you then can do that to get all of your points. I'm not going to penalize you for making a mistake as long as you fix it. But you have to fix it, and I'm not going to hunt you down. That 0 will remain until you fix it. That's kind of the way that I work, and you need to know that moving forward. Same is true with any assignment, not just these discussion board assignments. For your essays, you will get comprehensive feedback on an analytical scoring rubric. So you will have 5 categories worth 20 points or so each, some less, some more. And you will be scored accordingly, but you can revise any major paper that we do in the class for a higher score if that's what you wish to do. This is a composition course, and it's a learning process. I don't expect you to get it right the first time. That's not the nature of writing anyway. Nobody's perfect the first time out of the gate. Nobody's really perfect ever, so we have to keep that in mind. The next step on the menu is the journal. So sometimes you'll have to submit assignments to a journal. That's a little bit different. You'll have the journal assignment here, so it'll show up as a journal assignment. But what you will have to do is you will have to respond to that journal by hitting comment. You don't attach anything to a journal, and I'll remind you of this later, but you don't attach anything to a journal. Think of a journal as a conversation between you and me so that we can discuss your work. It's almost like having a private conference with me. It's not like a discussion board where you just post it and move on. This one is more of a conversation between the two of us. Nobody else in the class sees it, whereas the discussion board is open for everyone to see. Then I have a little button here for office hours, and office hours can be held in multiple ways. Anytime that you have a live session in your JCPS course, I'm happy to help you during that time if I'm available, but I'm not always available when your teachers are because I don't have the same schedule as your teachers. So if I'm not available during that time and you need me, certainly email works, but if you'd like to have a live office hour meeting, we can set that up sometime on Thursday or Friday any week. Those are my 2 days where I work from home. During your regular school hours or after your regular school hours. College doesn't operate on the same schedule as high school, so everything doesn't end at 2:20. That is just a video chat function, and it works exactly like Google Meets or Microsoft Teams, and I can use those 2 platforms if you would prefer. This is just nice because it's all right here at the same spot. If you need to email me or anyone else in the class, you are going to be using your JCPS email, which you probably don't yet have, but you will because that's going to be your login for Blackboard. If you need to get me, you just hit the instructor users. Just make sure you only choose me unless you're also wanting to get in touch with your JCPS teacher. Both of us should be in there as instructors early next week. If you want anyone in your class, you click all student users or select users, and then you can choose who exactly it is that you want to email. Editing tools are here for you because these are very, very important. First of all, you just have to realize that where you may not get a lot of negative feedback from teachers in middle or high school on grammar, just maybe you need to work on this, or, let's point out this and work on one part. In a college level class, because you've qualified for this based on benchmarking, we are assuming that you're ready for a college level class. That said, nobody has perfect grammar and mechanics without doing some checking. I mean, maybe some people do, but I'm sure everybody's made a typo, even if they are really good at it. So I've given you 3 choices here to use when you are going to turn in anything for class. These 2 are, you just go to the website and you copy and paste your writing into it, and it gives you a report and shows you what you can do to fix it. This is way, way, way more comprehensive than regular grammar and spell check. So it's really important that you try these beyond regular spelling and grammar check. This is a Chrome extension, but if you're a JCPS student, this will not work on your Chromebook if you're logged in with your JCPS login. They've got it blocked for some reason. I don't know why, but they've got enough on their hands without me telling them about this. So I'm gonna tell you that if you have a personal Gmail to log into Google Chrome with, it will work. So it's up to you if you want to try it, but it might be a little complicated if you're trying to use a JCPS Chromebook. So the other thing that I have here listed that I kind of skipped, because this is where your really content lives, is a unit. So units are where you go, and this will be indicated on the course calendar. Units are where you go to find the stuff to do, right? So like we're going to start unit 2 on Monday, and you will need these things to do unit 2, okay? It will also be the place that you go to submit your final essay for the unit. So you just need to make sure that everything that's about rhetorical analysis will live in unit 2. Everything that's about the academic argument will live in unit 3, and they'll be very clearly labeled, and I will make sure in your announcement and on the course calendar to tell you where to go to find them. And then this is my YouTube channel. You should be able to access it from your school device, but if not, you might have to like pop out of the window and manually put this address in. But here you're going to find all kinds of resources that I have filmed for years, over the last years that I've taught college classes. And so you'll see things like, here's how we draft the literacy narrative, which some of you were working on last week, and so forth. But if you click on videos, you will see all of the videos that I've done. And I will tell you where to go to find the videos for instruction whenever you have one for the week. But if you want to subscribe to this, you'll know when I post a new one. That's sort of an easy way to get an alert that I've posted something for class. Just like you should set up your alerts to give you an alert on JCTC's Blackboard, so that when I post a new announcement or whatever, it will go to your JCTC email. So what I really, really suggest you do is have Microsoft on your phone. Have Microsoft Outlook on your phone and add your JCTCS email to it in addition to your JCPS email. That way you're always going to get a notice whenever I post something. This is just a good reminder when things are due and when I post an announcement or you get a grade or something. So that's kind of the basics of Blackboard and how we will use it. You have this video available to you, so you will be able to look at it if you're confused and you forgot where things are. And then, of course, you can ask your JCPS teacher to help you, and then you can email me if you still need help. Just remember that I'm not the person to fix your Blackboard if your access isn't working, but we can certainly get you to somebody at JCTC who can help you with that. I look forward to working with you. I hope you have a great week.